And somebody asked me yesterday, Russ Thomas wanted to know how many tractors I had. So here goes nothing. This is a Super M 53 model, runs my feed grinder. When I bought it, it had a loader on it and the motor was locked up. I got it fixed, runs good. This little tractor here is an 8N Ford, belonged to my mom's dad. Was sold and out of the family for a while. They overhauled the motor while it was out of the family and put better tires on it. Bought it from a guy several years ago that sold it to me on the cheap because he knew it was my granddad's. And I don't use it hardly at all. I bet it's sat there for 4 years. This tractor here, Roger Chester, he gave it to me, but I got no intention on doing anything but maybe one day giving it back to him. It's a regular, Farmall regular, and pretty neat old tractor. It's still got the cable set up so that when you come to the end of the row and turn your front wheels all the way, it would lock up the brake on the inside and make it turn right around. And them spoked wheels, them are just really cool. Motor was all took apart on when I got it, so I repowered it with a 13 horse Honda motor and a belt drive. And that thing will drive around, but it ain't nothing but a play toy. And the way you can tell it's a regular, if you can look right here, it has exposed steering gears. All the F series, F20s, 30s, 14s, 12s, whatever, all of them had a gearbox. So that one's a regular. The tag's gone off of there. I'd run the numbers, see what year it is. My guess is 29, 30, something like that. I don't know. So, 90-year-old tractor. See right over there is a 7710 Ford. I bought that last winter. It has hydraulic issues, and I didn't know it when I bought it, and it's probably fixing to have a new owner. I hope somebody's keeping count. I've already lost count. This is a 1494 Case International. When I bought it, I was sure the motor was stuck on it and it had a loader on it, and I bought it for scrap price basically, and sold the loader to come off from it. I didn't need another tractor to loader on. I didn't even need another tractor, but it was only 4 or 5 miles from home. And my dad said, well, that's probably a pretty good tractor. We used it around here some. And he said, let me have that for a while. And I took it down there, and it was missing the black strip on this side of the hood and the front triangle shaped piece and the bottom grill. And he made those pieces. We called salvage yards, couldn't find those pieces. He made them and painted it. I believe he painted all the red with the brush. He didn't paint any of the black. And it is a pretty good little tractor. The PTO clutch don't work on it. This is a 1086, no matter what the hood says. This one's known as Identity Crisis because it says 1486 on this side, 1086 on the other side. My baler, it's my go-to tractor. I do a lot of work with it. Here's one of 2 H's that I own. This one was my Uncle Don cases. And this next one was a guy named Don Boyer, and it was his dad's tractor. He went to a church I pastored, and he sold me that tractor really cheap. He said it had a back tire on it. It still had quite a little bit of tread, but it was really old, and he said he thought that back tire was on it when his dad bought it, and it had never been off their farm. I'm just showing you mine, so there's a few tractors in here. It's not mine. We'll catch them on the way back. This little tractor right here is a 580B Case Industrial. It's a hydrostat, just a loader tractor, don't have PTO or 3-point or nothing. But man, it's the handiest loader tractor. That foot pedals, you got 1 foot pedal for forward and 1 for backward. It's a diesel, really good little tractor, fuel efficient, and it's one of my haying tractors. We haul hay quite a little bit, have to move quite a little bit of hay, and boy, it's good to use to roll them up with because you set high enough you can see it. This here is the first tractor I ever bought. It's a W6 Farmall or McCormick Deering 1946 model. I was 13 when I bought it at a farm auction about 4 miles from here. and I give $100 for it. And somebody's going to say, I'll give you your money back. I have used that $100 out of that tractor numerous times, but the motor was stuck on it when we got it, and we got her running and been using it off and on ever since for who knows what. Anything and everything. Like I said, there's some tractors in here, it's not mine, so I ain't gonna tell you about them. But this one's mine. It's a 930 case diesel. Bought this tractor from a guy who was a scrapper, and he had bought it, drove it across the scale at the co-op, and bought it from the people, paid them half of what it would have brought at the salvage or at the scrap, because he was getting the other half. And then he sold it to me, and it was pretty doggone cheap. But he was fixing to go to prison, and I never did find out what it was he done. And I went over and looked at it. It was cold, and it wouldn't start. They'd never had a battery in it to even try to start it. The solenoid on the starter was broke. And they had left the thing set outside with a muffler on it that had holes in the bottom, and it had rusted out the front end of the manifold. And I hooked onto it, and we was just slipping, and it was really frozen. We was slipping and sliding all over, and had to get out on the paved road before he could try to start it. And when he tried to start it, well, there was just smoke come out from under the hood everywhere, and I thought, oh my gosh, what have I got into? And he stopped me and wanted to know if I had any ether, and I didn't. He said, well, just keep going, it'll start. And we went about a half a mile or more from his house, and it finally did hit once, and then it was running, and all that smoking cleared right up. And this tractor has some weird things about it. You see that sticker? That's a dealer sticker. I've talked to some case guys around here, and they said that that company, Todd and Sons, was a case dealership. And did you notice the phone number? You don't see too many phone numbers like that. And so it was probably bought new there. The thing was at McCune, Kansas, when the guy, the scrapper, bought it. And it has a tack that works and reads like 2,900 hours. But it's just, I love the square bale with this thing, and it's loader tractor too. You can see we actually put a quick change on it not long ago. It's got skid steer quick change on the front of it, but it's developed a problem when I was square baling with it last fall, and it's in the transmission. I'm gonna have to take the top off the transmission, see what's going on. They're an 85 horsepower tractor. This here tractor was the second tractor I ever owned, and I sold it in the year 2000 when I bought that first 1086 I had, which is not the one we looked at already, to a cousin of mine. And he painted it. The paint wasn't bad, but he is an auto body man, and he painted it, spruced it all up. And I put them back tires on there whenever I had it. Matter of fact, the front left tire was on it when I sold it to him. And I guess it's been about 3, maybe 4 years ago. I was up at his place, and they were talking about moving, and I seen this thing sitting out in the fence row out back, and he had bought him a John Deere with an air conditioner and cab. He's got allergies now, it bothers him. And I said, well, you know, I know you're probably partial to it. I got partial to it when I had it. But if you ever decide you don't want to keep that 706, let me know. I'd like to buy it. And he just called me up and gave it to me. Told me to come up and get it. He probably never used it again since he had his John Deere. It's a, I don't know. I never run the numbers on the thing, but it does have 2-point. I think it was probably a pretty early 706. We used that tractor for everything at one time. It was my cow feeding tractor. I had a loader on it and all kinds of stuff. Well, that's all the tractors that I own. I also have 2 skid steers, a Bobcat 873 and a, let's see, New Holland LS 160, and I have 2 forklifts, Clark and Nissan. Both of them are 6,000 pound forklifts. So that's the number of tractors I have. Now there's some in here, And you might look at this old truck. This truck was my granddad's on my dad's side. He was the one that homesteaded the place we're standing on. Bought most of the property for back taxes. And he needed a truck. And the way it got told to me, I actually have the original title, the first title he ever had for this truck. And he had bought this truck from a neighbor that owned the ground on the north side of the road from him for half of a hog butchered, was what he paid him for this old pickup. It's a 47 Chevy, and it's a 3/4 ton. And he had to take the motor out of his car and put in it to make it run. So that was my granddad's truck. It never looked like this when he had it. It was never painted up. It was all rusty. My dad told me at one time he painted it. My dad painted it for his dad with the best paint you could buy at True Value. This is my mother's favorite tractor. It's the first tractor her and my dad ever owned. It's a WD Alice. Dad has painted it all. It wasn't in bad shape, but Dad painted it all up when I was a kid. And we used this thing for everything. It was kind of a little go-to chore tractor if you was spraying inside the chicken houses or whatnot. It was the one you used, and we used it to disc the floors up in our chicken houses. He built a drawbar on it that was special to hook onto a semi-mounted John Deere sickle mower. It's what we used to make hay with when I was real young, and it worked really good for that. It had that live power. He fixed up a foot clutch for the live power, and this one had power steering, and so it worked really, really good on that. The thing needs a ring gear change, so it's going to have to get broke into in the middle because it had been started in one spot. They always stop in about the same spot. But if you'll notice, the paint's been burned off the middle of the hood. I did that. I caught it on fire, and I was driving down the road when I caught it on fire, and I like to never got the thing put out. And I was like a couple hundred yards from the closest house, and there was no way home, and it was just a mess. But we finally got it put out. Within a couple days, we had to have it running. It was the one we was raking with at that time. But that's Mom's favorite tractor. This is an old H that's fixing to get cannibalized. It, as far as having things wrong with it, it's not got a lot wrong with it, but the motor just smoked like crazy and fell out plugs. And we're going to put the rear end of it on Dakota's tractor. We went by Dakota's tractor down here. He's got 2 tractors in here, and so does my dad. Besides those 2, that H that is fixing to come into pieces, it was my dad's. My dad loans us his little tractor to rake with. It's also Alice Chalmers. This is it, 50/50. That tractor is actually a Fiat. Made by Fiat. It has a Fiat diesel powered engine, and I'm not sure if it ain't about the same tractor as a Long, but I know they also made that tractor for Minneapolis Moline and White and Oliver. Sold tractors that was like that, except they were painted to their color specs. And then this is my dad's M. Used a bush hog with for years, and we painted it up and put some different names on the side of it and put better tires on it. Now you don't even never use it. This is Dakota's second tractor. It's a 400 Farmall. You can see he's got the battery out of it right now. Drained the water out of it for the winter. And then there's one other tractor in here. It's not mine, and it's an H. Belongs to Dakota. Him and my dad painted it all up. It don't even have a hydraulic pump in it, but we're one of these days gonna break it in 2 in the middle and put the rear end off of that other H down there on it. That's about it for a tractor tour today. This has been a lot of fun. So Russ, how many do I own? I'm not sure. 12, 13 maybe? 13 or 14? That could change at any given moment. So, hey, thanks for watching my videos. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk with you later. Oh, feel free to like this and leave a comment. I like your commenting. Ed Goslin thinks I ought to be chewing on wood, I guess, but I ain't gonna do it. He says I'm stuck up because of it, so yeah, that's how it goes. Thanks for watching.